Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Sword of Night, and welcome to episode 19 of my bee breeding guide. In this episode, we're going to be doing a branch of bees that you need to get to by way of the industrious branch called the Rocky branch. And there are 4 bees in this branch. One, the Rocky bee that you can get from rocky hives, generally found underground. And then the other 3 are the tolerant, robust, and resilient. And when it says tolerant, these bees really are tolerant. Though they typically prefer the normal biome conditions. As you can see, they can go either way, and the robust and resilient can go pretty far either way. They do like to work at night, so that's a nice advantage. They also can work underground. Most bees, if the housing, whether it's a bee house, apiary, or alveary, if there is not visibility to the sky directly above the block that they're in, they won't produce. However, the Rocky bees do actually work in caves, and like I said, they do also work at night. And these bees are added by extra bees, and I hit E to exit out of that on accident. Alright, there's not much in the line of output, nothing special for the output from these guys that you're going to need to worry about. They put out this stuff called Rocky Comb, which just gives you beeswax and honey drops, but it's a lower yield comb than regular honeycomb. The Rocky bees aren't really useful for producing much of anything. However, they are useful in that they move on to a whole bunch of other branches. But let's go take a look at the Rocky bees. Hopefully this won't crash. Yay, it worked. Okay. The first bee, like I said, the Rocky bees come from these hives. The first bee is the tolerant bee, and you need to get some diligent bees from the industrious line in order to make them. And if you don't know how to do that, you can either watch my industrious video, or you can get this map and hop through this hub here and go take a look at it yourself and practice with the bees I've supplied over there. Also, I've supplied some Rocky and diligent bees for you to practice here as well. Now, as you can see, I have cobblestone here in the ground. They also like just regular stone. Any stone will do, and that's what their flowers are. However, you see I have a flower here, and that's because the diligent likes to have flowers. So when I was doing the crossbreeding, I wanted to cover all my bases. But let's take a look at the, there we go, tolerant bee. And I will also need this princess to see how long it took me to get this. Fairly quick, it only took 3 generations, that's not too bad. But let's identify this and grab a tolerant to see how much of a difference I've got here. Oh, it looks like I managed to get a purebred out of that one. That's kind of nice. Getting a purebred out of your breeding endeavors is kind of a sigh of relief. It's pretty neat. But I'm going to leave these here so you can examine them if you wish. Now let's take a look at what you can expect out of a stabilized line of tolerant bees. Typically, you're going to get some of this Rocky comb and 1 drone. That is the biggest problem with these Rocky bees, is they typically only produce 1 drone offspring. So you can't use them to get a whole bunch of drones unless you manage to breed in a trait for higher amount of fertility. But typically, a stack of the Rocky comb will get you about half a stack of beeswax, but only about 1/4 stack honey drops. So, like I said, it's not really all that good for producing. Anyway, next up we have the Robust Bee, and it is a level 6 bee, as my reckoning that I use for this, because it uses a level 5 bee to make it, which is that Tolerant bee that you just made there, and you're going to still need some Rockies for it, and I still have some supplies in here for you to mess with. But let's see here, we got a Robust Princess, excellent. Now, it took only 3 generations to make, that's also very nice. Now this one obviously is a crossbreed. Let's see what sort of differences we got. Wow. Pretty much just the name of the inactive trait. Column. Alright. And the output's the same. Wow. So I almost got another purebred. Almost. That's kind of nice. Alright, now let's look at the typical output for some robust bees. You will get, like I said, 1 drone out of this line. It is kind of tedious. And it looks like you can get up to 1 comb for a queen cycle, but it looks like it's only about a 20% chance for the entire cycle of 1 queen to spit out a comb. And like I had over in the centrifuge over there, this is typically what you can expect from output for a stack of the rocky comb. Alright, moving on to the resilient. Robust, resilient, there we go. And I guess I'll need the robust also to identify how long it took. 1 generation, that was pretty quick actually. Alright, let's do some quick comparing here. Okay, some notable differences, and you will see that it requires the robust bee that you got here and an imperial bee. Now the imperial bee comes from a whole other line called the noble branch, and you can hop into this book and identify how to get that, or you can watch my noble video if you want to get a hands on that. But why did I reopen that? I need to put these guys in here so you can look at them if you wish. And let's take a look at the output from resilient. Again, 1 drone, and also once again low chance for comb, so do keep that in mind. And that's the same comb, half a stack of wax and a 1/4 stack of the honeydew. Now the rocky branch, which is what this is useful for moving on to the rusty, alloyed, mineral, shadow, and metallic. Mostly metals and rocks are what you're going to get after this line is done. But to move on, you are going to need this branch to get the later ones. And some of these are pretty neat. But that is pretty much it for what there is to be said about the rocky branch. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this was informative and helpful for you. I am rather enjoying making this series and learning about these bees. I figure the best way for me to figure out how all this stuff works is to make a sort of tutorial so that I get a better understanding and can explain it, because basically if you can explain something, then you know it pretty well. Hopefully. That's the idea anyway. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please do feel free to leave those in the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond. If you like this video and what I'm doing here, please feel free to give me a like. I do appreciate that. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my next videos come out. But that's going to have to be where I wrap up, so thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.